Welcome to Nobody Knows with Joey Johnson, powered in part by Deep Wax Productions and Classic of Denton.
Hey guys, we're here.
Hold on, let's go. 3
at the station. 3,
2, 1. Hey,
do we
guys.
need like an intro?
Oh yeah. All right, ready?
All
3,
right.
2, 1. Hey guys.
Hey everybody.
Hey guys.
Hi. All right, sponsors. you know about those because they're kind of new to us too. But we're here to tell you that we do have a sponsor. It is in Deep Wax Productions, Mr. Mark Zimmerman. What Deep Wax does, it's in the name, Productions. They do promotions and produce shows out here in the Denton area lately.
Charities.
Yeah, lately been a lot of charity shows. Sometimes just shows to promote arts, whether it's music, comedy, magic.
I said that last time. I just came in and said charities.
Yeah, well,
Last
that's
time
what he's been doing a lot of. Mr. Mark is a very generous man. He's been doing a lot for the Denton community lately, and he's been doing a lot for this show, so that's awesome. He wanted me to plug. Make sure, by the way, you look up Deep Wax Productions on Facebook, and the event they have coming up, if you look it up on Facebook, is Beer Fight at the Bearded Monk. It is an event brought to you by Reach Advantage MMA, which is interesting because our guest today has some fighting background. The Bearded Monk, Deep Wax Productions, and We Defy Foundation. Local brewers square off to benefit We Defy, a charity that helps veterans with PTSD using Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Which I also believe our guest is a...
What is this? Is this they're having a...
It's so pick up a pillow, get a beer, and get ready to fight. There's bands playing, and so for the MMA thing, it's people are having pillow fights and $10 donations. All comers can come and fight, and then they have premier fights such as I think Javoris, who's been on the show before, comedian, will be fighting someone.
And
Matt
these are
Battaglia, who's been on the show before.
These are pillow fights, but like MMA rules.
No, I don't know if there's MMA rules. I think this is just a charity that helps with it.
By the way, you keep.
I'm not really sure.
To the people out there, you'll notice once you can see our faces that I have a lot of glitter on my face. We still don't know why.
So that'll be Saturday at the Bearded Monk, Beer Fight at the Bearded Monk, brought to you by Deep Wax Productions. So yeah, check out Deep Wax Productions on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of that. Okay, so we have an awesome show for you guys. We have Vegas on this week. He's a magician. He's one of Richie's friends and one of my new friends. So we're going to start playing that intro. I'm going to go grab a cup of water, and we're going to get this thing started. Bye.
Hey, what's going on? This is Richie Flo with Denton Radio. I'm here with
Red.
Red. What do you think about the magic scene in Denton right now? It's happening right now. What do you feel?
It's kicking.
It's good, huh?
It's awesome.
You've been tricked?
You got me.
What do you think? What do you think about people finally being like, magic's cool?
Well, I can only say one thing. You got me good.
Right. What do you think about people saying like magic's cool, like as like a bus, like a magic, like the magic's cool bus?
The magic's cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome. I don't know what else to tell you.
Right.
It's off the chain.
What's your favorite part about it?
Because there's no telling how it happens.
How does it make your tummy feel? Tell them.
My tummy, I just got done eating, so it makes it a little woozy.
Yeah. Feels good. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
Awesome. Can you say nobody knows Joey Johnson?
Tom Yorkington.
All right, Tom Yorkington, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm a real, I'm a man of belief. So I'm having a real good day, man. Because I believe that I'm having a good day. I believe in good days.
So speaking of believing, what do you think about this magic movement? It seems like there's a magic show at least once before.
I've never been to a magic show. It seems like a bunch of hustle-fuss to me. I was always more impressed by a man that could use a bow and arrow to kill a charging pig, which is something that me and my cousins have done on multiple occasions.
What do you think about Joey Johnson's name change, going back to Joe Coffey?
Oh, I think they're, coffee it makes you jittery, and it makes me uncomfortable personally. I always say, less coffee, more warm milk. That's what I say.
Haley's tacos are ready. What do you think about that?
I hope Haley enjoys her tacos, and I have a belief system that she will have a good taco experience.
Thank you, Tom Tom. Hey, what's going on? I'm with
Colton Jones.
What's up, Colton Jones?
Not much, man. What's up with you?
Nothing. So what do you think about Joey Johnson?
Joey Johnson is a real cutie. I like him.
All right. What do you think about Vegas?
Vegas, also real cutie, man. I like him too. Yeah.
What do you... Let's ignore that. My chips and queso are ready. What do you think about that?
That's awesome. I love chips and queso.
What do you think about Joey Johnson trying to move into like more magic and less comedy?
Joey Johnson's going to start doing magic?
I mean, it's been rumored.
I think that would make his career disappear.
Hey! All right, thank you.
Thank you.
What's going on? It's Richie Flo with Den Radio. I'm here with...
But nobody knows Joe Coffey. 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 Nobody knows Joe Coffey.
All right.
Since you're Joe Coffey again.
When did I become Joe Coffey again? When did you make this decision?
Last time you called me.
Last time I called you. When was the last time I called you? I called you today.
456. Joe Coffey called.
456. So you just saved my name as Joe Coffey on the phone
I'm not-
still?
okay.
Or have you just never changed it?
It's like when you break up with someone and then you have to change
Mm-hmm.
all your pictures
Right.
at the house.
Okay. I don't know what that means at all. I really don't think it's anything
Every time
like
I date
that.
someone, I always take a bunch of their pictures and I.
Yeah, I've
keep
been
them
to
at
your
my
house that you live with the person you're dating, and there are 0 pictures of either
We're
of
getting
you
some,
in the house.
babe. I'm getting some pictures.
Speaking of babe, you are covered in glitter. You weren't
Yeah,
lying
we
in
don't
the
know
sponsor
why.
Portion.
I don't
you
know
really
why.
don't know why.
I have no idea. You heard me.
Just
Me
a
and my
random glitter
girlfriend
bomb.
got in a very serious talk.
Debacle
Yeah.
conversation.
I said,
about-
"Hey, why do I have glitter all over my face?" And she was like, "I don't know. Why would I know?" And I'm like, "Seriously, were you trying to put makeup on me while I was sleeping?" And she said, "No, I don't even have glitter. Why would I?" It's interesting. We don't know. So if you do know, please message me at richieflo@hotmail.com.
It's riveting stuff.
get to the bottom
That's
of this.
really riveting. That's the,
Speaking of riveting stuff,
Mhm. Yeah.
312 views. Can we talk about it?
On what?
On me boiling an egg.
Oh, on you boiling an egg today. That's been more than some episodes of this show have gotten.
See, I told you this show should be more like a cooking.
I mean, we did Chicken Gate. I don't think you ever ran by me that we
Yeah.
should be boiling eggs.
It was exciting.
So what started all this? What happened here? Because you've been posting a lot about boiled eggs.
So I've been trying to make boiled eggs for the last 2 months, and
Okay.
every time it's just a shelly mess. And people
What do
know
you mean?
there's just shells in my fingernails and
Mhm.
shells in my mouth, and there's shells everywhere.
So you
And-
don't know how to remove the shell from a
Yeah.
boiled egg, is what you're saying?
Do you know how?
No, I don't really
There
make
you-
boiled
I mean, it
eggs.
sounds easy. It sounds like
I don't make
I'm gonna
boiled
take
eggs.
this shell
I
off
was
this egg.
watching your video and giving you advice today, and I will be honest, I have no idea how to do it. I
Yeah.
just was trying to see you mess up.
Well, everyone's advice was completely different. So I ended up adding a ton of vinegar, a ton of
What?
baking soda, which
Don't you?
I
just
should have
boil
probably
it?
been using
I thought
boiling
you just boil
soda.
it in water. You boil it in
Yeah.
water and peel off the
No,
skin,
that doesn't
right?
work.
Isn't that how
That
you
doesn't
boil
work.
an egg?
no.
Jake,
You
how do you
need
boil an
vinegar.
egg? Jake boils eggs. Jake, your microphone.
I think you're not taking enough time to boil them. I think that's the deal.
In water, though, right?
Yeah.
You just water, and you just use the spoon and
It
crack
seems
it
easy.
and
Watch,
peel it.
boil an egg today. I challenge you.
You don't think I can go home and boil an egg?
It was hard.
You
No, you could boil the egg, but cracking it and having a
and
perfect.
peel it?
Yeah, it was.
I think I could
super
do
hard.
it. I've
So here's what
never
happened. It
done
was very anticipated. I had like at least 14 people watching me. It was a good stream.
Yeah, there were a few. I was watching while I was
And-
at work today.
The next thing you know, as soon as I'm about to start cracking, they watched me boil them. Then the second I was about to crack them, my phone died,
Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because I was like I
which
said, I was
sucked for
watching
me
today.
because I had to wait to eat the eggs for my phone to recharge.
I watched today while it was dead at work, and right when it was about to happen, it started saying the broadcast was interrupted, and
Yeah.
so I didn't know what had happened. And
I was like,
went
"All right,
back
guys,
to
watch
your
this next
Facebook.
step."
I went back to your Facebook, refreshed the page, and then like it wasn't working. I was like, what am I doing? Why am I pursuing?
Because I also wrote a very, very positive post for Positive Post Wednesdays.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
It's just I'm trying to keep
Positive Post Wednesday.
Just me trying to keep everybody floativated.
Why is that your job?
It's not
Floativated. I hate you so much.
Anyways, so yeah, I'm just trying to floativate everybody. And
what do you mean it's not? You're making it your job. You have Positive Post Wednesdays.
Well,
you've changed the word motivated after yourself. You're clearly you feel this is some kind of thing that you need to be doing. Why is this your?
Let me just say this: I've signed a contract to not get into it too much on this channel.
If everyone was always positive all the time, nothing would get done. Everyone
I get so much done. I'm so happy and positive all the
time.
Are
you, or are you just trying to distract yourself? Are you happy and positive because you're always creating and distracting yourself?
No. I've used all of the outlets that the human brain can possibly use to be outletted.
But you don't know how to boil an egg.
Yeah, that was my next thing. I was like, all right. Someone was like, no. Someone asked me. Someone was like,
Super Saiyan mode. Once you can boil an egg,
somebody said, if you could do anything you ever wanted in the world right now, what would it be? And I said a double backflip. And they're like, okay, well, what's another thing? And I was like, boil an egg. And peel a boiled egg. I can boil the egg. I can boil anything. Give me something, I'll boil it. But peeling,
except for okay, so
peeling it is not
clearly though. You're not boiling it long enough. I'm with Jake. You
don't
know how to boil an egg.
I boil. I boil them too long.
Look, man, I think you're being too negative. I think you're being more positive about this egg boiling.
Sometimes if I underboil an egg, I end up having to have what I like to call a fried boiled egg, which is an egg that's half fried and half boiled.
No.
Because if I open it, I'm like, this is still wet. Then I just throw it in the pan and just fry that up.
You mean like scramble eggs,
like a scrambled, boiled
egg?
Egg, yeah.
All right. So wait, your phone died? But did you figure it out?
Yes,
I did.
Did you
peel it? You did.
It was beautiful. I don't know what I did. I was like flushed at the time, so I could probably never do it again.
You salt and pepper your boiled eggs, right?
No.
What are you talking about?
Eggs are naturally peppered. Or salted.
No, that's not. I don't know what kind of eggs you're eating.
I'm getting farm fresh.
Your farm fresh eggs. Do you go organic?
Yes.
Do you really?
Yes.
Do you go free range?
Yes. Free range, you don't eat organic, non-GMO
chickens. You know eggs from chickens that are pooping on top of each other?
Nope.
None of that?
I free range
None
chickens.
of that cooped up chicken?
No. My eggs.
How much extra are free range eggs?
I pay about $6 a dozen. You probably pay about $1.29 a dozen.
Probably. Sounds about right.
But
you pay $6 for a dozen of eggs.
Yeah, $2.
That's insane. And you know how quickly you burn? How quick do you burn through eggs?
I eat 6 a day. So
no, you don't. You're not really spending.
I eat 2 in it.
I
eat 2 to 3 eggs.
$12 every 2 days.
But sometimes I don't eat. Sometimes I don't eat eggs. Sometimes I'll just eat like a little handful of walnuts.
What do you think you spend a month on free range eggs?
30, 40.
Really? $30-$40 on eggs a month?
Yeah, easily.
Dude, oh my God.
How much do you spend on Chef Boyardee?
You're almost like $400. You're in like the $405 window gap of like eggs a year.
Yeah,
dollars
for sure.
in eggs a year.
I quit buying
insane.
cigarettes.
You quit buying cigarettes, so that evens out to $6. Your eggs are more expensive than my cigarettes.
Yeah,
but and I get by 20, the carton. And I get 20 cigarettes in a carton.
But by a carton, you get a carton of cigarettes. Put this in perspective.
There's no such thing as a carton of eggs, though, right? The most you can get is a dozen of eggs in a thing.
A carton is an egg carton.
12, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. A carton of cigarettes is what, like 12 packs?
Yeah, way too much.
Like 200, 300 cigarettes?
It's cholesterol versus cancer. I'm on the cholesterol side.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go. So, free-range eggs. You know how to boil one. We have Positive Post Wednesdays. So that's what we got away from this.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah. So what time is it? What are we looking at? We're at 5:46. We're 16 minutes in. We do have a guest today. Do we want to talk about that a little?
Yeah. So this guy's name is Vegas. He moved here when he was 3 or 4 from France or Italy or somewhere where they say.
Or Vegas.
Or Las Vegas. I don't really know. I don't know his history.
Well, we'll talk about him with that. He's a magician. He was on the Magical Evening. When was that? What was the date for that?
I think that was
a while ago.
November 20.
Yeah,
Third?
it was.
November 23rd.
It definitely was not November 23rd.
That's what he said.
It was
It was.
November 23rd. All right, I guess it was November 23rd, and we'll be bringing him in. So stay tuned. We're gonna get him situated and all that. This is episode what? I don't even know a number.
38.
38. Are you sure? I think we're making up stuff. All right. Well, we'll bring him in. We're gonna get him mic'd up and stuff.
Ready?
Yeah.
Awesome. Hey, I'm going to go to the restroom really quick. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, you're not. You got. You have 1 hour out of
Gotta
the
be a
day that you
professional,
can't.
man.
Yeah, man.
I know. I already
Yeah.
used the Barnio.
What do we not pay you for?
So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you one of my dear, dear, dear friends, Joe Coffee. No.
Stop.
man.
Stop calling me that.
I know. I'm sorry. It's bad
I'm
for
trying to
your brain.
rebrand here, man.
Joey
What are you
Johnson
doing?
and Vegas.
Vegas is here. Hand
I'm
clapping. You got to work on those intros, Rich.
Yeah, I'm bad at it.
This is,
Tell us more, Vegas. Take it away.
More. This is my show now, so I'm just gonna.
yeah,
I'm just gonna
you
talk.
got a show now.
Oh, sweet. It's about
So
time.
why don't you tell us,
No,
say
I
the word
mean-
magic a couple times.
magic stuff, magical
You say
movements.
magic 5 times, you guys will switch seats.
Oh,
what
that'd be
I
awesome.
heard.
That'd be pretty cool.
Let's
Like,
not
that's
try
how that
it.
works. All right, well, I guess Rich, I don't know. This is supposed to be a magic episode.
This is
I thought you were gonna help me
magic.
take the lead of this.
This is the magic episode. We haven't had this much magic on this episode.
On this
almost
episode
uncomfortable
or
to
this
hear.
show. We had Monica. We had Monica.
We had
on.
Monaco on before, so we have had
Hmm.
an episode purely.
We've had a magical episode, but this is a magical episode too.
Oh.
Oh, okay. When's a magical evening too? Isn't there something like that gonna
Hey.
happen?
Ooh.
Isn't
Actually,
there-
Are we at
yeah,
liberty to
we're
discuss
speaking
that
about
now?
we're speaking about having that at some point
In the future.
in the future.
Deep Wax throwing in.
Yeah.
Our sponsor for our show.
Yes.
So what's
you
up
know.
with that thing on Saturday about fighting at the Bearded Monk? Nobody told me about that. I wanna
Yeah,
fight
what is
somebody.
this? What is this?
Um,
It's
I'm down
cool.
for that.
I'm gonna pull up
But it
this
is
event page again.
jujitsu.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying.
Which you're pretty skilled in jujitsu.
I've
right?
done it. I've
Correct?
taken a couple classes.
couple
yeah.
of you
Yeah.
teach, don't you?
Yeah, I own an academy out in Corinth with my dad.
Okay. And
Been
we're-
Training for about 10 years now, so
all
And
right.
it is
few
called.
classes. Top Game Jiu-Jitsu Studio.
Hey,
Where's that at?
It's in Corinth. If you guys know where NCTC is, it's right across the street behind the Mexican food restaurant over there, Angelina's.
So
Helene.
this is an event brought to you by Reach Advantage MMA, and some charity We Defy that helps veterans with PTSD using Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Hey.
Pick up a pillow and a beer. Get ready to fight to party. How it works: in one hand, a contender will have a pillow, in the other, a cup of beer. The objective is to knock all the beer out of your opponent's
I
cup
like
while
that.
protecting your own. And so they have some fights already lined up, but it says with $10 donations, all comers can fight.
Ooh,
That
okay.
means it's your turn. So it's pillows and beer.
Two
I
of
don't
my
think
favorite
there's
things.
that much
Two of his
jujitsu
favorite things.
Two of my
involved
favorite
in
things for
pillow
sure.
fights, but
I can work it in there somehow.
yeah, I think so. So
That's where the magic
Richie-
comes from.
Richie was saying you're on TV for it.
I wasn't on TV. There's a website that broadcasts out to several thousand people. It's a
Okay,
pretty big
awesome.
website. But
Oh,
yeah,
this one?
I've
Good
competed
radio?
professionally.
Is
Yeah,
that it? Okay.
yeah. No, I've competed professionally in jiu-jitsu a couple of times.
He's like,
so-
I was
Okay,
on
awesome.
Kine Beach show.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah,
like
that's
my
it.
claim to fame right now. Being on Sound Values.
So a lot of
Reaching for
like
the moon.
competitions and all that, or
Yeah, I've competed quite a bit over the last couple of years.
What
I've
is that
kinda-
like? I mean, you know that at some point you're more like we talked about in the like magic. You're more likely to get hurt.
Yeah, magic is a lot
Than the
less
magic show.
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, you're
I don't
like-
get
yeah,
quite
you're-
as nervous on stage. Like
you're
I'm still.
going in knowing you're going to get somewhat of your butt kicked.
Oh yeah,
Like,
it's
that's-
gonna hurt. Like I know it's gonna hurt. Going into it, it's gonna hurt. But
Yeah.
it's just
I remember we did a magic show, and afterwards you were like, I mean, I didn't get punched.
Yeah,
in the
nobody's
face,
trying to
man.
choke me, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be way easier.
What drives
I mean,
that? What drives someone to get good at that? To get good at.
I would something.
Did
that
you
I
fight
with
a
my
lot as a
dad.
kid?
No, my
You
dad
didn't get
really,
beat up as a kid?
No,
No,
I didn't. Not really. Not that much. I mean, I got picked on like any other kid, but
Right.
The glasses.
nothing outrageous. It was definitely and the Harry Potter-esque look. I think
Really?
had a lot to do with it too. Yeah.
I think the Harry Potter look is just the glass. Anyone with glasses kind of looks like Harry Potter to me.
It's a pretty broad statement. Yeah.
It's all glasses.
It's just
That's
it's just the
Literally
glasses
just
that
like
make the man.
anyone saying anyone that looks like you is like Reggie Watts or something.
No.
Or Hagrid.
Whoa. Yeah, Hagrid. we have a whole
Why'd
thing
you get us about
covered.
Reggie Watts?
I'm not a huge Reggie Watts fan.
Why not?
Not enough energy.
What do
Watts.
I don't like him.
you-
You know how many people have told me that I look like Reggie Watts? Or, oh, man, you remind me of Reggie. Oh, you're like Reggie
so
Watts.
that's why you don't like him.
I'm like, yeah, cool. That's cool.
When I was long hair, a lot of people would compare me to the guy from Workaholics. So I understand what you mean. Kind of
Yeah,
like
when
turned me
I
off
was
from the
in-
show.
When I was in 7th grade, everyone was like, oh, Richie, you would love Andy Milonakis. He's just like you. And I was like, yeah. Except for I'm like actually 13.
So, how long you been doing it?
Jiu-jitsu about 10 years now.
10 years.
10
How long have you
years.
done magic?
15. 15
Oh, okay.
years in magic, yeah. So I started magic when I was 10, and then I started jiu-jitsu when I was 15. Just my dad loved the UFC, and we were looking something to do to hang out, and founded a jiu-jitsu academy. And
All right.
Fisher,
Your dad does it too?
Oh yeah, he's the other
Does your
guy.
dad have a fighting background?
A little bit, yeah. I
Okay.
mean, he's competed in jiu-jitsu before. He's got his
Alright.
black belt as well. So
Okay.
we both take. He's actually teaching class right now. So thanks for that.
How often do you win these competitions? Are you like?
I have since stopped competing since I've started picking up in the magic scene. I just kind of put my personal, goals and competition.
more so just teaching now.
Yeah,
and
just
stuff?
teaching now,
Cool,
helping other
cool.
people get to where they want to
Yeah,
get to now. Focus on running the school versus my own personal stuff.
So it's your school, you and your dad's school?
Yeah,
That's
we own
crazy,
the school.
man.
Yeah,
How old are you?
I'm 26. Yeah, I got my black belt when I was
27. You're making me feel
yeah.
terrible about myself right
Don't
now.
feel bad,
Oh
man.
my
Don't feel bad.
God.
I got lucky.
It's just a black belt.
Yeah, it only took me 10 years.
Yeah,
but
it's just
yeah.
10 years of hard work.
I got my black belt in August of last year. So.
See, if I could spend 10 years, I mean, I have, but it's not the same. It's
just one day at a time, man. Like
Yeah.
I didn't think about it as I'm going to do this for 10 years and get my black belt. I just kept going
It's just
every day.
something that you
and it
keep
just happened.
doing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Next thing you know, you're
exactly.
10 years in.
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true with anything. You get your chops in, literally, pun intended, I guess, with the chops for the. But you get like.
Is that a karate chop joke?
I don't. Is that? I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
Do you karate chop in jiu-jitsu?
We don't.
You don't?
Not on purpose, anyway. I might throw an accidental
When
one
someone's
out.
Who does
when
use
the
the
ref isn't
karate
looking?
chop?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe martial arts uses karate chops. I don't know if anyone really uses a karate chop. That might just be like a.
I mean,
ninja
that just sounds
stereotype.
bad for your hand. Like, what if you miss and you get your pinky, break
Yeah,
your
it
hand
doesn't
on
sound
somebody's
good.
head? No.
Because there was
Why
a-
not just punch someone? Why would you chop them? You know?
Exactly. And even punching somebody still will mess your hand up real bad. If you
Yeah.
don't
when
know
I
what
worked
you're
at
doing.
Quiznos a long time ago, this girl came in with a cast, and it was her and her dad, and I was like, "Oh, what happened?" And her dad just said, "She got hit with a karate chop," and I just like I'd never even thought about like a karate chop.
Just came up to block.
Yeah,
Low. Luckily, her arm was in the way. What could have
Yeah.
happened to her face?
It's just when you're doing something like that you enjoy, you don't really think about the time.
And that's really what it
involved in
was.
you
Like
know what I mean?
when I was 17 at the academy I was training at the time, there was an open position to start teaching the kids classes, and I jumped on that, and I've been
Yeah.
doing that ever since. It's been like my full-time job since then.
Yeah, I was like backtracking the other day. Someone was talking about someone I've been doing stand up a little bit longer than was telling me they've been doing it so X amount of years that I thought I'd been. I was like, no way. So I started going and backtracking, and I hadn't even realized, it's been like 4 years of my life involved in this. And
Yeah.
like, it's definitely not by means I don't have a comedy school brick and mortar.
Yeah,
that's not like
just,
a thing.
I mean, that's the path
But
I
it's
chose
just
to take.
crazy. Yeah, exactly. It's just something you enjoy doing, and then things like that just so happen. And that's awesome, man. You're getting to pay bills doing that. You're doing a lot of magic shows now. I see.
and that's been more just about the fun of it,
Yeah?
man. Because I love magic's my favorite thing in the world.
yeah.
And it's cool because I thought I was the only person who could do what I could do, and then I met Richie at a party a couple
Right.
years ago, and it's just been
Where was that? Where was this party at?
my friend Kelly's house at
yeah.
the time. Yeah, she was throwing a party, and Richie just happened to be there. I
This
heard
is
him in the
Denton
background.
area?
Yeah, I was in
Do you live in
Denton.
Denton?
I live in Sanger, but I hang out in Denton.
No, it was
Okay.
actually hilarious because I didn't realize he was there, and this girl's like, "Hey, can you do some magic for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I start showing people at this party magic, and someone's like, "Oh, cool, you're like Vegas." And at this point, I had only heard of Vegas through Monaco, and so I was like, he just like was some kid that went to school, and I was like, Vegas. I was like, I mean, I've never heard of Vegas or something like that. Or I said something about him,
Right.
and then they're like, yeah, he's right there behind you, and I'm like.
Yeah, because
Oh,
I heard
wait,
you say
that's
something
him.
like, I never heard of no Vegas.
Yeah, I
Who's
was
this
like, I
Vegas
heard of
guy?
Vegas.
And I'm
There's
like,
only one magician.
It's like a it's
I'm
like
right
a
here.
movie. It's
Yeah.
like the
And
what
then
is it, the
she's like,
Prestige?
oh wait, he's right there, and I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
Rival
He's right
magicians
there.
at first.
And then
thought
he
was
came
gonna
up
have
and
to-
did magic, and it was good. And I was like, oh, okay.
there's one card trick that if somebody says, hey, I do magic, and they do this one specific card trick, we know that they're not serious about it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
We
So
just make fun of
you
them.
say
Yeah.
you say they're good. So it is like that. I mean, it's like there's bad magicians. There's
Oh,
people
yeah.
you see that they're just.
Oh,
and what
yeah.
makes a bad magician? Is it hacky, gimmicky, like presence? Is it just bad tricks?
There's a lot
Is
of
it
different
like
ways.
Yeah, you can be bad in a bunch of different areas.
Is there hacky magicians like there are in stand up? Hacky being a term within stand up, meaning like unoriginal.
Most of them.
Oh, yeah,
not
there's a TV
good.
show about it where some dude wore a
Corny.
mask and just gave up magic tricks. Like,
Okay, I think
that's
Richie
a
showed
bad
me that
magician.
before.
Yeah, the dude with that black mask.
I
would be
didn't
like, this
show
is
you
how you
that.
do. This is
That's
how
a
you
bad
do magic
magician.
tricks. Yeah.
That's you're. Why are you against that? Because it's giving
that's
away.
lame. Yeah, it's giving away the secrets. The fun about magic is
like
seeing
joke
it and not know.
thieving.
Yeah, it's exactly what it is,
All right.
man. Somebody took their hard-earned money, time, and effort to put into some piece of art, and somebody's just on TV making money off of that, showing how it's done.
Especially
I don't mess
if
with
one,
that.
especially when they know, if people realize how hard it is to like.
I didn't realize how hard it was until we started working on a magical evening
Yeah.
for the first part. Just some of those tricks that we started doing didn't even end up the same at the
Yeah.
end because we just put so much time and effort into it. And if there was a whole show called How to Do a Magical Evening, I'd be
Yeah.
pretty upset about that.
Right. And I mean, because there's a lot of it that becomes not scripted. You know,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot of it that it seems. I mean, from what I've talked to Richie, there's a lot of almost like audibles. You know, that you have to have ready, Plan B, Plan C kind of
Exactly.
things. There's so many variables, I guess, with like doing a trick.
I mean, you got to see
Especially
how it was
live.
firsthand. You got to
Yeah.
do a magic trick up on stage, and
Yeah,
then my
yeah,
wife
yeah,
messed
yeah.
you up because she don't listen too well. I
Yeah,
guess.
no, yeah, I do remember that. And I mean, mine was fairly easy, but the trick Richie taught me. But with a live audience, I mean, especially when you're bringing up volunteers, anything can kind of happen. you know?
Anything can happen. I think some of the people who were in the audience were conniving against us. So if I get to go up there, I'm going to try to mess them up.
Right?
is
Yeah,
Didn't give an opportunity to.
It's
At this
kind of
point,
like-
it's even cool. Like I love that now. Like at first, I was like, man, what if someone tries to mess me up? But now I'm like,
Got you.
And it's fun. You know, you can really, anytime they do that, you just have to be mentally ready for someone trying to almost do that to you, because you can make them look silly or dumb in the end.
Yeah,
for-
it's
you
just
know,
like a heckler, you know?
Exactly. Kind of like setting them up to where they say something, then it like to where you say something that it's just gonna, their response. They're going to be the punchline.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing that you're just setting them up. You're throwing them that alley-oop, and they're going to slam dunk it for you.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's just being ready for all things. And I think that's the thing that impresses me, I guess, most about like doing magic is like the preparation.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot
for
that
all
goes
that.
into it. It's almost a competition between you and the audience, you know?
and opportunity.
How so?
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what you're doing,
Right.
and you're trying to present something in such a way that they can't.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm trying to show you something that's borderline impossible. Just being a curious person, you're going to try to wonder how I did that, and my job is to make sure you can't figure
Right.
that out. Or at least leave a ton of reasonable doubt of how I could have done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how'd you get into magic?
I saw David Blaine on TV. My grandma told me to watch this video that she had recorded, and it was one of David Blaine's first specials. And as soon as I was done watching it, I went online and I spent my first birthday money on or the birthday money I just got right on my first Magic DVD. And
So 15
What
years.
was
You're
it?
around like 10 or 11?
About 10,
around this?
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Do you remember what it was called on Illusionist?
oh, it was How to Do Street Magic. It was I mean, I saw that video and I saw the guy who created it, Brad Christian, doing all those crazy tricks, and I was like, I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
I want that. So
And then once you
So-
start, there's two types of people. There's people who see the magic and they like practice it, and then there's people that see the magic and they just know the tricks, but they don't ever do it for anyone. You know what I mean? And like, what made you actually be like, okay, I'm gonna show people this stuff?
Isn't
You know what
that
I mean?
just the difference from a magician and a magic fan, though?
No, because like Magic fans will watch Magic and never learn the secrets. But there's people who will spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars learning all this magic, and then never show anybody anything. You know?
Right. So what was the question for him? My bad, I interrupted that.
I don't communicate well, I think, is why I would like to, why I try to take it to other people. I was really shy and didn't make friends real easy. So eventually that was kind of my crutch growing up on how to communicate with people, you know.
Because it starts out, I guess, I mean, was it for you kind of like how it is with Richie? I mean, it starts out doing it in groups and on the street. And
a lot of my friends. I went to Geyer High School, and at Geyer I would get in the lunchroom and people would all surround tables and show tricks out in high school and stuff too. So that was really when it started to pick up, was when I started to do it out there, and people were real receptive to it when it was at first just something I was doing, practicing in my room, and then I show somebody what I was doing and they really took to it. You're really fooled by what I did.
When you're a regular person, so to speak, and you have 20 or 30 people around you watching you do something with a deck of cards, and they freak out just like you would see in a TV show.
It's unreal.
It's like, whoa, I
did that. I really did.
I am
did
David Blaine, or I am Chris Angel, or I am David Copperfield, or I am Doug Henning.
And then you're hooked. Then you're
sold.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god.
Nothing
you know
will
what it's
ever
like.
make you feel that
when
way.
you learn that one trick,
that's
you
how
start
laughs
showing
are
everybody.
for me. You know what I mean?
You know?
Yeah, I mean that's how
it's
laughs
pretty much
are.
the same thing. Like those applause. Like after doing a magical evening, just walking around and doing card tricks is just not the same anymore.
Oh yeah,
it's just
not
not
at all.
the same.
Was that like your first like big stage?
Oh yeah,
show?
for sure.
Okay,
for sure. Yeah, I'd never done anything like that before.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Not even like school like talent shows or anything.
No, nothing like that.
No.
I once did school karaoke once, but that was
Do
it.
magicians do open mics ever?
I mean,
we've done a couple at Midway.
Yeah, I mean,
why don't you ever come to my open mic, dude?
We didn't go to. It wasn't open mic at Midway. It was just
it was
just not a lot of people there.
There's like 5 people there.
There just wasn't a lot of people there.
Raheem just needed someone to do something.
No, we are gonna do. It wasn't even our night. It was Luke had a night there, and he just.
You did it for.
It was
Luke.
actually packed for everybody else, but once we started doing magic, there weren't that many people. But it was tight.
People started leaving because of the magic.
I mean, you know, we kind of scare some people off.
You gotta throw another show soon, man.
We do.
Keep, that's
yeah,
how you
I'm
get
ready,
a scene
dude.
going. You keep the ball rolling, man.
But that's the magic part. It's got to be a little bit of air of mystery to it.
Right.
It's just gonna pop up one day.
We'll be like,
magic, come see
can't be
now.
doing
I
the
missed the
same
last
tricks
one.
Yeah, dude, you can't do the same tricks over. It's
No,
like
and,
telling
that,
the same jokes over and
that's
over
the thing
again.
is we've been doing some shows here and there, and we've been kind of like using some of the same tricks that we have from a Magical Evening, but also working on so much more. So
here's my viewpoint though on the same trick thing, because you said it's like doing the same joke, and I mean, so for an example, like I have an act, you know what I mean? I have like a set. If I'm getting paid a certain X amount of money, you know, or if I'm at a club or something important, and I know I'm in front of an audience that probably has never seen me, I'm doing my act, you know. Out here in Denton, I do try and mix it up a little bit more, you know, and not try and water it down with same jokes. Now, granted, it does become draining telling the same jokes, but more times than not, you're going to have a random audience of people who haven't seen you.
That's the thing, too, yeah. If you have a new audience, you can repeat the same material, but you don't want to just keep doing the same stuff in the same area, you know what I mean?
Right. And that's what's tough about whenever you do start building kind of a fan base around a scene.
Yeah.
So there's certain people, they go to a lot of the comedy shows, you know what I mean? And I will recognize their faces, and I'm already telling them, like, I'm already recognizing them ahead. I'm like, all right, what have I told to this person, you know, what? And that's how I read a room, definitely. Not only, like, you know, I definitely judge I judge the books by the cover. I judge everyone in that room, and then I also am looking at, like, okay, who have I told this to and what? But I still think it's important to build an act, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially once you start hitting the road and doing
especially
stuff
so you
like
can feel
that.
comfortable up on stage.
Right,
You know,
exactly.
you don't want to just be trying new stuff all the time and always be off your game. You want to have something that you can, you know, have tried and true that's worked several times.
Well,
over.
in Denton, it can definitely happen. Someone, you know, seeing you numerous times, but more chances than not, you know, that room is going to be fairly random, and a lot of people that haven't seen you than have.
But also for how long
especially
we've been
when
doing
starting.
magic, we know. I mean, like right now, you know, I probably couldn't do 200 magic tricks for you, but if I put a little thought into it, I probably know somewhere between like
it's just a treasure
thousands.
trove of just different ideas.
There's just
and
so much stuff.
concepts
So
and techniques and
sometimes like working stuff out, I'll do a trick, but the
So
trick
do
that I
you
do,
know 1,000 tricks, or do you know how to do 1,000 tricks?
I know
'Cause I think
thousands
there's
of
a difference,
tricks.
right?
I mean, I could do 1,000. I mean, tricks are really like whatever you bring to me, whatever you come and bring to me. That's like what the trick is, right? So like if I ask you like, hey man, like I'm trying to do, if you're like, hey, do some magic for me, depending on what you have, like if you say, here, do magic with this cup, or do magic with my phone, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's really only like 10 magic tricks. We just do them over and over with different objects, and different
And just
things.
concepts. Like
yeah.
there's I would assume a finite amount of concepts that you can apply to different ideas that make a new trick or a new storyline or something to that effect.
So explain that a little bit more. You
Like
can without giving away. You know what I mean?
that's the thing. Like if I took a part of a trick that I liked, I could probably deconstruct that into the different parts and then take those different parts like Legos. Like I could take the different pieces of the trick and put them together in a different way that'll create a whole new effect.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a great way to describe it.
Yeah.
See, I don't know much about this. I mean, I've never, Richie's the closest I'd been around because I never really liked magic until hanging out with you.
It's funny
So
because we were hanging out with
TV
one of his
magic. I was
friends.
skeptical. You know what I mean?
most
Like
people- We were
hanging out with one of
tricks and
his-
stuff like that. It's not,
We were hanging out with one of his friends the other day, and he's like, "Hey, man, you remember how I used to hate magic?" And his friend's like, "Yeah, you did." And he's like, "This is my friend. He's a magician."
Yeah, and then he. Yeah, and then he saw you do magic, and he was very, very impressed. But I think it's one of those things, magic in real time as opposed to watching anything, even live on TV. There's just a big disconnect there.
It just
like
conjures up different ideas of what you think a magician is. Some people think of some cheesy guy in a top hat pulling rabbits
There's a
out of it.
disconnect.
and
You
just
know what I
different
mean?
things
It
like
doesn't
that.
exactly. I don't know. It doesn't sit as well as it does live.
Yeah,
There's
it's
a
hard to
more-
translate through the TV because you can manipulate stuff through the TV.
People just
it's
always
not
think
the
everyone's
realest
in
thing.
on it. And even whenever I do magic shows, I mean, I remember doing a kids' party, and afterwards, someone went up to this little girl and goes, "Did he give you candy to say that?" And she was like, "No." And like,
all real.
yeah, like people start thinking that they're getting bribed, or but that's just, to me, that just means I'm doing good magic.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? If
there's no other explanation than you're in on it, then that's the perfect magic trick. I mean, if there's no other thing your mind can go to besides,
If that's the
That's
only
fake.
thing you can come up with is that
yeah.
how often is it not that though? How often is it?
Is it not somebody in on
Yeah,
it? Just
yeah.
about every time.
Every
We've
time.
only-
It's
I've
every
only-
time.
every
I've
time.
only done
Yeah.
one trick ever. That
Even
someone
with the
was in on
Blaine
it.
Chris Angel stuff, you think every time those were.
If you knew what you can do with magic, you would be like, oh, okay, I understand.
But that also conjures up the question, no pun intended, what is magic? Like, what really is magic? You know what I mean? Like,
Well, here's what's interesting.
what really is it? Is it the feeling? Is it cards? Is it the props? Like, what? I guess it just depends on how you define
Depends on
magic.
And the
it's
thing-
a
and the thing is-
perception thing. But so the thing is, like when you watch the old David Copperfield videos, for example,
Such
like
good stuff.
it's great stuff. But the way the people and this is why I think I naturally thought because when you watch those, the way people react, it's old, it's an old corny reaction to that. And so I think that's why I always thought, well, people don't act like that now, so it has to be fake. But it's weird. I was watching like King Kong Godzilla. It's a 1960s film, and just the way people were talking, like I was like, even the American language has changed so much. Just the way the American accent has changed just as time goes by and the way people react. And I think I always thought people were in on it because those Copperfield, it always seemed like actors, but I think people were just different and they reacted different.
Yeah.
I actually got to see Copperfield live in Vegas last year, and he really does that. People aren't in on it. He really does that stuff, and it's incredible. It's
That's
amazing.
insane.
It's amazing.
That's insane.
But I think that's
one of
the
the coolest
thing.
experiences ever.
I mean, at the same time though, there is this notion. So like, okay, so if I show you a card trick, right? People know I'm using sleight of hand. So what sleight of hand is pretty much saying is like lying. I'm just lying to you. I'm saying that I'm doing this, but I'm really doing that. But you're okay with that because it's sleight of hand. Why is it not okay if I say that I have a TV show and I say I don't use any stooges or nobody's in on this or there's no camera tricks? But then if I use
you do it.
Yeah, it's just a magic
it just
trick.
goes back to what your definition
Still,
of it is.
it
You know?
still
magic
is a
trick.
magic trick.
Yeah, it's just a magic trick.
Because magic, inherently, I think Penn
Now-
Jillette said this, that magic card tricks specifically inherently are silly.
Yeah,
They're silly.
goofy.
Yeah, it's the presentation you put behind it, and the feeling the audience member gets when they see it.
Was that a
and-
magician who said that?
Yeah.
And what does he mean when he says it's silly? Like it's easy?
It's like when people say,
Gimmicky
are you possessed by a demon? It's like, yeah, I sold my soul to the devil so I can manipulate playing
cards.
cards.
Yeah.
Little
That's
pieces of paper.
little rectangular pieces of cardboard and paper.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I guess that's what I think he means by it's just silly, because
Well, 'cause-
if I could do magic, do you really think I'd be?
But the card trick's like one of the most consistent things you see within like.
It's
Magic.
just an excellent medium.
It's
Yeah.
it's when
You know,
you're
they're
when
able
you're a
to-
12-year-old trying to get into Magic. You know, your mom's not going to give you money to buy these expensive props, but you might be able to go buy a deck of
Right.
cards.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
right, and you can
Or
play with
coins, for
those.
example, too. Coins translate across all different cultures and languages, and
Mm-hmm.
if you can make a coin disappear, you can, speak to somebody without words. You can convey your.
You can really
So-
break barriers.
I guess
Yeah.
I have an interesting question or thought of when going back to when I said, like how much just people have changed, audiences have changed, viewers, consumers, and that, and just with the shift of language, culture, and everything within 50 years of live Magic since vaudeville, live stand-up comedy. Cards, stuff like that have stayed consistent, but is there like certain Magic that's dated now? Is there like, does Magic progress like sense of humor does for stand-up? You know what I mean? People don't laugh at the same things. Like if I hit Richie on the head with a hammer for this show, that would just be a dick move. It wouldn't be that funny.
Yeah, it's not the Three Stooges.
Exactly.
Even though we are Three Stooges.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
You
But
know what I mean?
back in the day, that would have been, is there like certain Magic that's dated now, or ways, like in what ways has Magic progressed
I don't
through
see a whole lot of
years?
animal magic anymore.
There's
to
not
be
a lot of
honest.
animal magic because there's a lot of cruelty there.
Yeah.
That makes
Because
sense.
there were magicians who abused animals.
Like on
and
the
that-
Prestige, where
yeah,
the
the
collapsible
bird
cage.
I'm
that
sure
kills
that was
the
a real
bird.
thing. I'm sure it was.
Had to
And
be.
then I think Magic's gotten more progressive, and we're not like sawing women in half and dismembering women and then putting
Is
them
the
back
sexy
together.
assistant still a thing?
I hope so. Yes.
I haven't but I don't see many
You don't think
duos
Teller?
anymore.
Copperfield still uses one, right? I feel
No,
like it was no.
I didn't see him use an assistant.
And
I
his
mean,
whole in the DVDs we were watching of Richie, he's in like that one of the hangers of his, like with all this stuff, and it just looks
It's
like
him and Claudia Schiffer.
oh, it's so funny.
okay,
She's
yeah, his
like-
big magic warehouse that he has. I think he's
Yeah.
got the largest magic collection
Yeah.
in the history of the world.
And see, that's
And
real.
his own
That's not a
private island.
set. That
No, that's
hangar
no, that's
is-
his real place.
That
Yeah,
thing's insane looking.
yeah, that's just where he hangs out with all his magic stuff.
So how do you get big as a magician? I mean, if TV, so like the TV,
You just
thing-
you got to throw up frogs now. That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
You got to go
TV's
on
not even really the
Jimmy
pinnacle.
Fallon and throw up frogs. That's magic now.
TV's not even really the pinnacle.
That's
at this
what
point.
Blaine did,
Yeah, that's
right?
what he did. Yeah, he threw
And
up
he just
frogs.
swallowed them, right?
Yeah,
And they
I'm
were just-
sure. I mean,
I saw a video of him with Dave Chappelle and them at like a party or
Mhm.
something, and he was. So that's all you do? You just swallow and barf them up?
You could.
that's
not even
one way to do
impressive.
it. You know, unless the frogs are in on it.
See, is that magic?
To
I
us,
guess-
it is.
Yeah,
It's
I mean-
magical.
Perception, right?
It's
It's
magical.
magical.
That's
it's
see,
entertaining.
What's magic? What's magical? Like you can
Yeah.
do magic with math.
Something out of the
Numbers.
ordinary,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, it's like when I do this, right?
Oh, you're holding up a glass of water for audio
Right.
listeners. Okay. And you're shaking the
See how
water.
Jake? Look over my shoulder. See how Jake's staring?
And now it's beer.
See how Jake's staring right at the camera because he wants to make sure that nothing happens. But in that moment, everyone believed. You believed?
that something was about to happen?
He's like, no, I didn't believe. Yeah, we believe something was about to happen, and that's the magic. The trick part is just like you telling me how cool I am for the magic thing. But for me, the magic is all the moments leading up to the thing that's going to happen, and everyone just believing
Well,
that
it's
I'm going to
similar.
make that happen.
It's similar to the structure of a joke. I mean, you have the setup, the premise, the setup, and then you have the punchline / reveal,
Yeah, the punchline's fun, but it's funner once you.
to build up.
Yeah, the
before that
build up is
punchline.
what is.
Yeah.
Which might be the difference from magic and stand-up. You know what I mean? The punchline, the build-up can sometimes build up too much, and then the joke gets worn out, even if it's a good punchline. It's good for stand-up. It's like tight joke telling,
Yeah.
is what they say. As opposed to, I think, magic, where maybe that build-up, the audience loves the build-up. It
Yeah.
makes them anxious.
See,
That's,
people don't.
so that's
creates
why
that air
it
of that
creates
quietness,
anxiety, and then
yeah.
after a magic trick, that's the difference from magic and comedy. After a joke, you laugh.
Yeah, and people
Because
have
you
laughed.
didn't have the anxiety
People
before.
laugh a
After
lot.
a trick, what do? You go, because you're gasping,
Yeah.
you're letting out that air. You're relieved from the anxiety, the tension that setup brought you.
So people already laugh all the time. So when they see comedy, they know, oh, this is a joke. This is what I'm going to laugh at. Nobody really sees magic, so they don't really know how to react a lot of times.
And that's why I think I like to bring a lot of energy to the stage. When I go on stage, I want people to know, hey, this is like a rock show. Like,
From
get
some-
up, make some noise, become part of the show.
And I'll do a trick, and when the trick happens and everything happens, everyone's just like,
it's almost uncomfortable when
mean,
they don't react.
and I go, magic just happened, and they're like,
Yeah, okay, and I don't mean to say this in a backhandy way. When I see a lot of magicians go up there and they do jokes, like they get laughs, and a lot of them aren't very. As someone who tells jokes, they're not good jokes, but I think a lot of the audience, it's nervous laughter because it's magic. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's
there's
like,
also these lines that you just know as a magician,
and they're not ready for you to be funny, I guess, too. So it's like disarms them as opposed to when you go up and tell jokes, they're like, you better be funny. You know?
I use that as a crutch,
right?
Like if as just a little thing to support the magic. So I consider myself a comedy magician because I'm not the best magician. So something doesn't go right, and add a little comedy into there. It was a joke. Ha, ha, ha.
I mean, and
I'm
you
just
don't
kidding,
have
I'm
to
the best
confirm,
magician.
but I feel like that would also be a good thing to also, distract the audience too.
Little
Jokes and stuff
misdirection.
while you're little, yeah, exactly,
Oh, yeah.
exactly. That's cool.
I don't know. I think a lot of people just like, because in magic, when you start learning magic, you watch a lot of magicians, and there's just these little lines that just naturally happen, like
Pick a card.
Pick a card.
Don't show me what it is. Actually, you can't show me. I've seen this trick before.
This is magician versus magician.
Right. So he's seen the trick before.
Obviously, I've seen the trick before. I'm doing it. You know what I mean? Just little.
And that's one of the
lines like that.
silly, yeah.
But people say that, and or.
So there's certain jokes that just are the
Built
passed
into your
around.
You just know people are going to say the same thing. When I do magic for people, they always say the same things. Like, oh, I've seen this one. Or, oh, can you make my wife disappear? Or can you make and it's like, Or
hold on to your wallets.
Can you make
I don't want to play cards with this guy. I'm just like, you can just imagine. There's about 20 of these things that everybody says.
It's just
can
like,
you make the bill disappear?
Everybody wants to think they're funny. Everybody wants to be part of it.
Or
That's
everyone
kinda
wants
what it
to
goes
tell me a joke, or he wants me to tell them a joke.
The funniest is after we did our the mini mall.
That was a fun show.
The mini mall fire
At Andy's.
We didn't do the mini mall fire, but after we did the charity for the fire.
Yeah, you better be careful with the implications.
Somebody was like, I was outside. I was outside, and this guy was like, "Hey, man, you should go on YouTube and type in Penn and Teller, and they have this show about magic, man. You'll really like it." And I was just thinking, like,
I literally saw you have one of their VHSs today.
I'm a magician. Like, why wouldn't I have seen that before?
Yeah, this is all brand new to me. I've only been doing this for like
It's like
20
someone
years.
coming up to me like, "Hey, have you heard of that Dave Chappelle guy?"
Exactly, yeah.
Jerry
He's
Seinfeld,
pretty funny.
Make you giggle.
Like, I don't want to hear. I mean, but then again, I was nice to the guy. I was like, "What? Are you Penn? How do you spell that?
Like pencil?
Like a pencil?"
I'm interested to see, how do you get people on with magic etiquette? You know what I mean? I guess that's just a host establishing. We had me do that.
Yeah, you
for
did do a
Magical
good job
Evening,
with
kinda
that.
go up
People
there
not
and
get on their phones and
explain.
stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I've noticed sometimes if
It's
I don't
tough.
react.
It's tough establishing something in a town where people haven't really had it.
Yeah.
They don't know the culture or the etiquette to the mannerisms behind being
I
a
noticed-
audience member for a magic show.
If you're gonna spend money to go see a magic show, you're probably gonna want to see a magic show and not want to ruin it.
But I mean, but Richie's been doing stuff lately for not even paying. You know what I mean? You're not paying audience. Like you've done some shows with Dan's where it was free for them to get in, right, and stuff. So and you were the only. It was variety. You were the only magician.
Yeah,
That's tough.
That was
That's
a
weird.
rough night.
See, but I think that's the difference, though. Like there may have been some people who wanted to see you.
No.
struggle a
I'll
little
say
bit.
this: that was a night that everybody that got in was free. Like I got paid as a magician, but the people came to see.
I knew that.
And this girl messed me up because she didn't want to see magic, and I shouldn't have called on her. And she was like, "No, I don't want to come up here." And I was like, "I mean, are you sure?" And her parents were like, "Go up there." But yeah, this is a sneeze.
Trick didn't work out because she didn't want. I remember because she was uncomfortable. She was handling herself how she normally would, right?
I'll even say what the trick was. I do this to kids, okay? I have somebody pick a card, and then I see what their card is, and then I have a giant deck of cards that I pick that card out of, and I just show everybody behind, so the whole audience behind the person can see what their card is, but this person doesn't know. And then they pick somebody in the audience to come say, "Is your card the 8 of hearts?" And the person's supposed to be like, "Yeah." Well, the girl who was supposed to say, "Is that the 8 of hearts?" She just was like, "I don't know. Is it the 3 of clubs?" And the
She was
girl's
just
like,
refusing
no. She was just
to,
refusing to, and then I
Not
showed her
wanting
a
to.
She didn't want to be up there.
Yeah, I'll never call on her again.
Huh.
But I got past it. I
You
had
live
fun.
and you learn.
I had fun. Most of the things I did that particular show, none of it was supposed to work out. 3 of the things worked out of 5. So 3 out of 5 is better than not showing up.
Oh, proud of you.
It's live magic, man. Things are gonna go wrong.
We
Things
got
happen.
some comments saying, "Do a trick, do a trick."
Who was
do
that
a
from,
trick,"
though?
Chanting. That's from
Oh.
Jake.
The trick. Did you not get enough last time?
So we got some cards
Should I do
out.
some magic? I can do
Yeah.
a little bit. I'm familiar with a few.
We're running close to the end, so let's do some magic.
All right. No dead air. Okay.
No, you're fine.
All right,
We're gonna
so-
call our show Dead Air. That's what we're gonna do.
Go ahead and examine those. Make sure they're.
I have 4 aces
Make
that you
sure
pulled out of the
they're-
deck.
They are
Alright.
aces
They are aces. I do believe so.
from a deck.
And
of
we
playing
have this
cards.
camera. I don't know if you see the camera that you're gonna be playing to.
I don't know which one is. Is it the red or the blue one?
They're aces, people.
Okay.
The red one.
This one right here. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to fan the cards out, and we're going to take all 4 of those aces, and we're going to put them in different places. It's going to be a good trick because that rhymes. It's another one of those lines we were talking
Yeah.
about.
There you go.
Except people
Alright.
don't laugh, usually. It's supposed to be a joke, but...
See, I'm too busy trying to. I'm not
supposed to be
trying to let you.
disarming.
Exactly.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we'll take all those aces, we're going to shuffle and square them off into the pack here. That way they're lost forever, or at least until I find them. But you're going to help me, okay? So all you got to do is
Okay.
say stop anywhere you like.
Stop.
Right there, look. If I tap 1, 2, 3, 1 ace should jump right out of
Oh,
the center of the
okay.
pack.
Wow. All right.
That's number 1.
Magic.
Magic. Number 2 is a simple cut.
I'm the one who's doing all the work here. It's me. See that, Rich? I'm magic. I knew where was that?
Whoa.
Little simple
There we
cut.
go. Didn't even, yeah, it's a little simple cut. And 1 goes flying through
Oh,
the air
okay. Never mind.
with the
He's
greatest
magic
of ease.
too.
That's 2.
I must be rubbing off on you.
All right,
Okay,
so.
got a 4. in
No,
your
it just
hand?
looks like the 4, though. It's not really the 4, because if I shake it over the other one,
Oh,
it looks like
all right,
the other
okay.
ace. And the last one, we shuffle. Woo, shuffle. And cut.
What?
Boom.
What?
Tricks.
It's magic tricks, to be specific.
You just got tricked.
You should move to Vegas and just become a blackjack
I
dealer.
lived there for a little while.
Is that where the name came from? I was
yeah.
gonna ask. Did you ever do any shows or anything out there?
No, I was like 10, 13.
Super
when I
young.
But he
moved out
wanted
there,
to
yeah.
Go to magic shows out there? Any,
I saw one. I saw a couple of magic shows last time I was in Vegas last year for some jiu-jitsu tournaments, and I saw David Copperfield and Penn and Teller, and it was 2 of the best shows I've ever seen.
Which one was
one of
better?
the few places I haven't performed in.
It was different, and it was a different show each. Penn and Teller was a lot more talking and a
Yeah.
lot more theatrical, and
All right.
Copperfield was just trick, 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 trick.
See, I just helped do some work at WinStar, and I went in that big room that they were at, and it just didn't seem that big. I can't imagine what they would have done.
The showroom?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
That's
Copperfield.
where they do the stand-up also, right?
Yeah, it just didn't seem as big as I imagined it.
Yeah, Penn and Teller had more. If Penn was involved, it was a long, like 15, 20-minute speech before the trick started. Then Teller
blah blah blah.
exactly, and then Teller would have these beautiful little pieces of sleight of hand in between, whereas Copperfield had a bunch of little short stories, and then he'd have little intermissions where he'd run through the crowd and do some stuff. There was one where he took a napkin off a lady's table and rolled it up into a rose and made it float and lit it on fire, and it was a real rose, like 2 feet in front of me. It was awesome.
Copperfield did that.
Made a spaceship disappear, or made a spaceship appear inside the stadium.
Yeah.
It was pretty rad, man.
That's awesome.
It was super good. This whole story about a little alien who wanted to go home and stuff, and the spaceship showed up to take
Is that
him
it?
home.
All of them.
Yeah,
are,
dude.
They're all stories like when I was a little kid.
Yeah, my
conceptual-
grandfather told me a story back when he was in World
See,
War
I
II
love
and had this
that.
little
Right.
box, and inside the box
It
was an
adds-
alien who wanted to go home.
And you know it's BS, but it adds such like mysticism behind
man,
him.
he
You know
was-
what I mean?
he
You're
was-
like, oh, you're so interesting.
He has
like,
a story called "My First Snow," and he's like
my first what?
snow, and
I
it
said
was
snub. Like I got
this-
turned down. and
this
I saw
particular
show
trick
I had.
was produced by Francis Ford Coppola, the guy who made a bunch of crazy movies.
It was the most.
Escape.
It was one of the most
Apocalypse
cheesy
Now.
things I've ever seen.
What?
Copperfield. It was the true magic was love. And
Yeah.
then it shines on his face, and then it blanks out. And
This is the
it's
end of
over,
the show.
Yeah, it's the end. The real
Okay.
magic was love.
You know he doesn't believe that.
But he does. He
No.
tells his
He owns his own
story.
island. He don't.
Yeah,
he didn't need
He
love.
doesn't
He's got
need
an
love.
island.
He's got
It's the island with the
he's got
fountain
a lot
of
of
youth.
sunshine and pina coladas.
Yeah.
It's
I
the Fountain of Youth Island, the
I'm
island
sure,
that he owns.
like-
No, it really is. He bought the
What are you
island.
talking about?
So allegedly, there's this.
He still
fountain of
looks
youth.
like he's
Lazarus?
in the 80s.
Lazarus
Let's see what
Pizza?
let's see what it's called.
He should just call it the Copperfield.
The Copperfield.
when the sun hits it just right.
Supposedly restores the youth of anyone. Yeah, it's real.
What is the island?
No, so apparently if you throw dead leaves in this water, they'll come back to life or something.
Wow.
I don't believe that.
You should sell that in bottles.
The fountain of youth is discovered in your DNA. It's awesome. It's just a bunch of cool stuff.
What are you talking about? You're not really making much sense here. You're just kind of reading parts of an article. A Wikipedia search on the fountain of youth.
Maybe the fountain of youth is like coming through him through the phone.
Yeah, hold on, let me find this.
He's getting younger and dumber. Oh, he's 6 years old now.
So Copperfield lives on an island. Is that a real thing?
I think he owns his own island.
He
Yeah,
owns
like
an
he
island.
bought an island.
David Copperfield discovers fountain of youth. The magician came across a controversial secret on one of his private islands. What would you say if you were told,
one of
hey,
his
someone's
private
discovered the fountain of youth?
One of many private islands.
What would you say if someone told you, hey, someone discovered the fountain of youth?
I'm obviously doing magic
You
wrong.
probably say Olay or Shamole or that's amazing.
Why would
This-
you say?
Shimole,
Why would you
definitely.
reply with Olay?
I would definitely
This
say
is because
Shimole.
you are well in your older 90s and you're hoping that there's a fountain of youth out there somewhere. Well, guess what? David Copperfield found it, and he is not sharing.
Neener.
How does he look right now? How does he look? How does David Copperfield?
Adorable.
He looks all right, man. He didn't
Is
look
he
super
age or
old. Doesn't mean
70?
super old.
That's not him. That's
That's
his
him.
articles from 2010. This is 8 years later.
Oh man, it
Look
doesn't
up-
seem like it was.
Look up
8 years
David
later.
Copperfield now. I want to see that. Or can we pull him up on the screen, Jake? See what David Copperfield looks like.
He's even cuter.
No. That's
Yeah,
not
that's what he
him
looks
right
like.
now.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
him right there.
Oh my goodness.
Fountain of youth?
Yeah.
No,
man.
never seen it. Never heard of
Benjamin
it.
Button. Jake's gonna pull it up on the screen for people watching, but I mean, he's a good-looking dude, man.
He's really good looking.
Is he
All
still-
magicians are, I think.
Wasn't he married to one of his assistants? right?
Claudia Schiffer.
Are they still married?
No.
Look at him
what
flying through
happened
the
there?
clouds in that picture. I want to do that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's gonna be my next trick. I'm just gonna start flying.
How many black button-ups does this guy own?
All of them.
And that's the
good
thing
looking
is, he got his name from the book David Copperfield.
I wonder what his real name is. You think it's something really bad, like?
Yeah.
No one knows his real name.
No, it's on Wikipedia.
I'm sure you could look it up. I
But-
don't know it.
What is it?
Well, the thing is, he's
Is that him and
David.
Michael Jackson?
The reason he's David Copperfield is because people asked him if he wanted to. He said, "Do y'all?"
Oh, look at that.
He was at. He was,
Back in the
See,
day.
he was not a good-looking kid, but he is a great-looking old man.
yeah.
It's kind of how magic works. You start off as a goofy little nerd, and you grow up and be awesome. That's what's happening to me right now. So you guys,
Yeah,
you guys are seeing the
you're
phase.
slowly seeing me
Wait,
grow,
give me 10 years. I'll be Brad Pitt, man.
growing into a man.
Just like nature intended.
Well, we'll get that music. You got any plugs? Come on, man. What's going on?
Man, I'm performing in Austin March 24th at the Scratch House. It's part of the official Trail to Backwoods, the Backwoods Music Festival in Arkansas. It's their official pre-party. I'm going to be performing out there.
Awesome.
Magical Evening 2 is in the works. Keep your eyes peeled. Top Game Jiu-Jitsu Studio in Corinth. TopGameJJ.com for more information. Come train with us. We'd love to have you.
Also, we're doing
Been
midway.
asked that before.
We're doing magic on the 17th of March at Midway Craft House.
Come
so
out. It's a
come for
cool
that.
venue. We're going to
I'm
do
just
cool
figuring
stuff.
out about it.
Yeah. Also, I'm going to be doing Amelia's birthday this Saturday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Amelia. Art show at J&J's on Friday. I'm curating that. I'm going to be rapping, doing
Art.
magic, making music.
Mancini.
Eric Mancini, Chris Jessup,
you told me I need to be there.
Graciela.
You told me I'm a part of something.
You're a part of it.
he's
You're going to
doing.
be running security. You're
I'll
gonna
probably
be,
show up and do
I
some
don't
magic
think
too.
so.
He's going to be doing some magic too. We're going
I'll
to be
be
having a
around.
great night. Jake's going to come by and
Art's gonna be
make
awesome.
sure I'm doing a great job.
I'm also going to plug after you go check out the art show or, come over to Backyard on Bell. There's a stand-up comedy show. I don't know if I'm performing. I know I'm throwing it. Some things came up, but Backyard on Bell starts at 9 o'clock. We got Jamie Gravy, Tom Smith, Mikey B, Emily Klein, Jay McFall, a lot of very funny people. Jamie Gravy opened for Eddie Griffin, so a lot of on Eddie Griffin's new Netflix special. Jamie Gravy opened. He has a credit. Good friend, very funny. Also Thursdays at Killers open mic starts at 7:30. Sunday Bearded Monk open mic 7:30. And don't forget Deep Wax this Saturday, the beer fight at the Bearded Monk. It is for a good cause.
Hey, if you need any magic as well, hit me up, Vegas Denton Magic. I'm happy to perform for you. Just send me a line, man, at Vegas Denton Magic on Facebook.
All right, well, appreciate it, man.
Awesome.
Thanks for coming
Thanks
out.
for having me, man. I really appreciate it. It was a good time.
Yo.
That was it. Episode what? 38? 38?
Oh, by the way, look out for Harry Potter and
Hagrid.
Hagrid.
Harry Potter and
Reggie
Hagrid
Watts.
Magic Show, maybe?
Yeah, that's
Reggie
Maybe,
Watts.
maybe around like Halloween or something.
Let's do that.
Holla at us at Halloween.
You're a wizard, Vegas.
Bye, people.
I'm a Harry wizard.
Nobody knows. Every Wednesday, 5:30.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. We want to invite you to join us on Facebook and check out our friends Deep Wax Productions as well as Classic of Denton.